practice today. This is going to be approximately a 45-minute all levels class. I hope you enjoy. We're going to start in a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like and feels like to you. Try and have a nice long spine, shoulders dropping down, drawing towards the center of your back. Eyes can be closed or to a soft gaze in front of you. Let's just take a moment and find our breath. Allow your inhales and exhales to lengthen and deepen, really drawing in that clean, deep lung full of air, filling those lungs up to capacity. And then on your exhale, focusing on moving everything out. Just move it all out, draw your belly towards your spine as you expand all of that spent and used air, making way for your next clean, fresh intake of breath. One more nice deep inhale. Exhale, roll your shoulders down and back, let your eyes come open. Bring your hands to heart center. We'll do 3 seated sun salutations. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale through heart center. Inhale up. Exhale to heart center. One more. Inhale, hands up. Exhale. Let's interlace our fingers, palms facing the ceiling, elbows are pressing towards straight. Inhale all the way up to the top. Drop your shoulders down at the top. Exhale and release. Interlace your fingers again. This time we're going to press our palms away from us. Elbows are straight. Inhale, coming up. Shoulders drop down at the top. Exhale and release. One more time each side. Palms facing the ceiling, elbows are straight. Inhale, come on up. Exhale and release. Interlace fingers, palms facing away from you. Inhale, come up. Exhale and release. All right. Let's take the palm of our right hand and place it against the back of our right shoulder. Elbow is pressing as straight up to the ceiling as you are able. We're going to get into those tricep areas on the back of the arm. Palm of the left hand is going to rest gently on that right elbow. You're not pushing down, you're not squeezing or pressing, just allowing the weight of your hand to rest there. Neck is in a neutral position. You're not leaning to the left or the right with your head, just nice and neutral. Couple of breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, gently release. 3 shoulder rolls going forward, nice and slow. 3 shoulder rolls going in the opposite direction. All right. Palm of left hand is going to go against the back of your left shoulder. Elbow is pointing as straight to the ceiling as you are able. Palm of your right hand is going to rest gently on that left elbow. Again, we're not pressing down, we're just gently letting the weight of our right arm settle against that left elbow. A couple of breaths here. Neck is in neutral position. Eyes can be closed or open. Whatever feels best for you. Nice steady inhales and exhales. One more. Exhale and release. Okay, we're going to warm up the core just a little bit. Go ahead and bring the soles of your feet to the floor, knees pointing towards the ceiling. Think about sitting towards the front of your sit bones, okay? So we're drawing our abdomen towards our thighs. Hands can be on your shins right now. They can be on the floor. They can be back behind you for a little additional support. Think about drawing the knees towards center. We want to be engaging those outer hip muscles. Toes stay on the floor, heels come up. Maybe you step your toes in one step closer. Shoulders are dropping down. Think about the front of your rib cage and think about tipping that down just a little bit. So we're not arching through our back here. We're drawing our whole torso towards our thighs. Hands can come along the knees if that feels safe for you. You can also keep them on the floor. It's modified boat pose, and you should be feeling some activation in those thighs, outer hips, in through the abs. Draw those shoulder blades towards the center of your back. A couple more breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale and release. Lean back on those hands. Let your knees windshield wiper side to side. All right, we're going to come down onto our backs. We're going to do just a little bit more with our core, and then we're going to start moving. Coming down onto your backs, feet on the floor. Knees pointing towards the ceiling, hands are maybe on your abdomen right now. Find constructive rest. We're going to bring our right foot to the ceiling. Flex that foot as if you're trying to stand on the ceiling. Hands are going to come down along your side for now. In the low back area, let the arch of your back be natural. We're not trying to flatten it against the floor in this particular pose. We're just going to let the natural curve of our back be what it is. The front of your rib cage, you want to be tucking that down just a little bit. Now we're going to take our left foot and we're going to extend it out long away from our body, but we're going to keep it up off the floor, okay? Some nice activation in through that core, in through the hips and the thighs. Go ahead and switch foot positions. Left foot comes up to the ceiling. Right foot extends away from you, but it stays off of the floor. Check in with your low rib cage, making sure that you're tucking that down a little bit. If you need a break here, take a break. This is some pretty strong core work. Go ahead and switch feet again. Your hands can stay down by your side here, or you can extend them long overhead, stretching your fingertips towards the opposite wall. Keep them up off the floor if you're going to extend them back. A couple more breaths. Switch the foot position again. Left foot comes up, right foot comes down, hovering off the floor. Arms stay where they are. One more inhale. Exhale, draw your knees together. Wrap your arms around your shins. Roll out that low back just a little bit. However you're able, make your way up to a seated position and then go ahead and find tabletop. Wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're pressing the floor away nice and firmly. Elbows are straight. Our torso is not sagging down in between those shoulders. We're pressing it up and away from the floor. Take a breath here. And an exhale. On an inhale, we're going to take our right foot back, toes on the mat, toe pads pressing into the mat, heel pushing towards the back of the room, elbows stay nice and strong, torso stays elevated, pressing up and away from the floor. A couple of breaths. On your next exhale, we're going to step our right foot off to the left. Gaze is going to come around the front of our left shoulder as we peek back towards that foot. about taking that left hip and keeping it in line with the body. We're not letting our whole body shift over to the left. We're getting that nice bend in through the spine. Inhale, right knee comes back down. Readjust, finding tabletop. Exhale here. On your next inhale, left foot goes back, toes on the mat, toe pads pressing into the mat, heel pushing towards the back of the room, torso is staying nice and elevated. We're pressing up and away from the floor. A couple of breaths here. On your next exhale, left foot comes over to the right. Gaze comes around the front of that right shoulder, peeking back towards that left foot. Couple of breaths. Nice side body bend, second side. Inhale, bring that left knee back into tabletop. Tuck your toes here. Exhale, press up and back into down dog. Take a moment in this first down dog to pedal out your feet a little bit if that feels nice. Walk the dog, whatever you'd like to call it. Starting to wake up those hamstrings and glute muscles. As you feel ready, pressing both heels back towards the floor. Sit bones are pulling up towards the ceiling. Nice, a lot of length in through the arms and the spines. 2 breaths here. On an inhale, we're going to look towards the front of the mat. Exhale, walk your feet forward, up in between your hands, forward fold. Go ahead and allow softness in your knees. Be kind and gentle to your hamstring attachments. Head can hang heavy. We're going to take a moment here. Then with bent knees on an inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. Let's take our feet and step them about hips distance apart. We're going to sink down into a wide-legged chair posture. Hands come up. Take an inhale here. Exhale, we're going to press forward. Weights coming into our toes, but our heels are not coming up off the mat. We're coming into that ski jump position. Inhale, back into chair. Weight pivots back towards your heels. Exhale, ski jump. Inhale, chair. Exhale, ski jump. Think about the core here. Think about engaging those ab muscles. Exhale, ski jump. Inhale, chair. One more. Exhale, ski jump. Inhale, chair. Exhale here. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, Tadasana. All right, guys. 3 half sun salutations, nice and slow, finding our pace. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Nice long spine as you come down. Inhale into a halfway lift, level spine with the floor. Core and low spinal muscles are engaged. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana, we'll do that again. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. One more. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. Sun salutations with low crescent. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, right foot goes back for a lunge. Find your lunge first and then right knee comes down. Toes can stay tucked or top of the foot lays flat. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Retuck your back toes, step back into dog for 2 breaths. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, right foot comes forward, up in between the hands. Left knee comes down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. Same thing, second side. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. On your exhale, left foot goes back for a lunge. Left knee goes down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step back into dog, 2 breaths. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, left foot comes forward, up in between the hands. Right foot goes down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. Just building onto that. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. On your exhale, right foot goes back for a lunge. Right knee comes down. Right hand comes down onto the floor or onto a block. On an inhale, left hand is going to come out and up as we open up into an easy twist. Exhale, that hand comes down to frame the front foot. Retuck those right toes. Inhale, right knee comes up off the mat. Exhale, we're going to straighten that left knee as we fold over the front leg. And then step back into dog. Inhale, shifting forward to plank. Drop the knees down. Exhale, we're going to lower all the way down. Elbows stay tucked nice and close to our torso as we come down. Hands come back behind us. Palms facing the floor. On an inhale, we're going to come up into locust. Hands and feet come up off the mat. Fingers and toes are actively reaching towards the back of the room. Continue to breathe. Gaze can come up. It does not have to. You can look straight ahead. You can look at the floor. One more inhale. Exhale and release. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Toes tuck. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, we're gonna shift into tabletop and then back up into down dog. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, right foot comes forward up in between the hands. Left knee goes down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Left hand stays on the mat. Right hand is going to come out and up as we open up into easy twist, second side. Think about that hip and think about drawing it towards center. We're not letting it cock out. We're not letting the stability of the front leg come into compromise. Couple of breaths here. Exhale, right hand comes down. Retuck those back toes. Left knee comes up off the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. All right, we're going to add half Hanuman into our next low crescent sequence. So if you have blocks available, and I really suggest that you do for half Hanuman, blocks or a book or something that you can put your hands on, go ahead and put those at the front of the mat right now. Standing in Tadasana. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. On your exhale, right foot's going to come back for a lunge. Right knee goes down. We're going to inhale up into low crescent first. On an inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Go ahead and find your blocks. And we're going to begin to shift our torso up and back. And as we do that, we're going to straighten through the left leg. Toes are going to come up off the mat. We want to keep just a little bit of bend in that front knee. You don't want to lock it out or hyperextend it. Torso comes up nice and high. We're facing the front of our mat with the torso. Take an inhale here. Exhale, long spine as you come forward. The fold is happening in the hip of the left leg. Folding forward over that left leg, any amount. Toes stay elevated. Couple of breaths here. The toes on the back leg, on the right foot, those can be tucked or top of the foot can lay flat depending upon what feels better for you. On an inhale, very gently rising up. Exhale, bending into that front knee, beginning to shift forward. Set your blocks aside. Hands come down to frame that left foot. Readjust your feet as you need to. Right knee comes up off the mat. We're going to find a lunge. Take an inhale here. Exhale, step back into dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank. Knees come down. Exhale, lower all the way down, nice and slow. Elbows stay nice and tucked close to your torso. Hands are going to stay right where they are this time as we inhale up into Cobra. Big or little, doesn't matter, but you do need to keep some bend in the elbows. Arms don't go straight here. One more inhale. Exhale and release. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, press through tabletop, back into down dog. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, right foot's going to come forward up in between your hands. Left knee comes down. We're going to inhale up into low crescent first. Exhale and release. Hands are going to find those blocks. Beginning to shift your weight back as you straighten through the right leg, walking the blocks back with you as you go. Coming up nice and high. Again, remembering to keep a little bit of micro bend in that right knee. You don't want to lock it out. You want to keep a little bit of softness there. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold forward over that front leg, any amount. Keep those toes flexed, pointing towards the ceiling. On an inhale, very gently coming up. Exhale, beginning to walk yourself back forward, bending back into that front knee as you do so, setting your blocks aside. Hands are going to come down to frame that front foot. On an inhale, straighten your left knee, readjust as you need to, finding a lunge. Exhale here. We didn't get that hip stretch on the other side in our last sequence, so we're going to do it now. Inhale, we're going to straighten that front leg, sending our hips to the ceiling. Exhale, step back into down dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Drop your knees down or keep them elevated, your call. Exhale, we're going to lower all the way down one more time, nice and slow with control. Inhale up into Cobra. Exhale and release. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, push back into dog, either through tabletop or directly back into down dog. Take a moment here in dog. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, right foot's going to come forward, up in between our hands. We're going to peel that, left foot forward. We're going to peel that right heel down. On an inhale, we're going to come up into Warrior Two. If you're on the other side, that's okay. Couple of breaths here. Gaze is over the middle finger of your front arm. Back hip is rotating open slightly. Back thigh rotating open slightly. Front knee is over the ankle. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Hand can travel down your arm, or you can bring your hand around your waist for a half bind. Exhale, we're going to come into side angle, elbow onto that front knee. Right fingertips come up towards the ceiling. You can stay here, or you can rotate your palm to the front of the room and then lay your arm down long across your ear. Couple of breaths here. Inhale back into Warrior Two. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Peel your back heel up off the mat. On your inhale, straighten that front leg, sending your hips to the ceiling. Exhale, step back to down dog. On an inhale, we're going to shift forward to plank. Exhale, we're going to lower all the way down again. Inhale up into Cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes, inhale here. Exhale, all the way back to dog. On an inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, right foot comes forward, or the foot opposite of what you did last time. My bad there. Exhale, left heel peels down. Inhale, come on up into Warrior Two. Gaze over the middle finger of that front hand. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Front palm to the ceiling. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Again, that back hand can travel down your back leg, or you can wrap it around for a half bind. On an exhale, right elbow comes onto that right knee, palm facing the ceiling. Left fingertips come up towards the ceiling. At first, you can keep your hand right here, or you can rotate your palm towards the front of the mat and lay that arm down long across your ear. A couple of breaths here. Inhale back into warrior two. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Peel your back heel up off the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, step back to dog. Inhale forward into plank. Knees can stay up or you can drop them down. Exhale, we're going to lower all the way down to the floor. Hands stay right where they are. Inhale, coming up into Cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes, inhale here. Exhale, press up and back into down dog. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, left foot's gonna come forward, up in between your hands. Right heel peels down. Inhale, come on up into warrior two. All right, we're going to do a little bit of a tricky transition here. Do the best that you can with it. Your foot can tap down as you come forward, but we're going to come forward into half moon. If your blocks are still at the front of the mat, you can go ahead and place your left hand on the block. On an exhale, shifting forward. Left hand comes down to the floor or the block. Right hand comes to your hip at first as you rotate those hips open to the right. Gaze can stay at the floor. You can stare straight ahead or you can stare up at the ceiling. These right fingertips can stay right where they are or you can extend that top hand to the ceiling. We'll take a couple of breaths here. On an exhale, right fingertips are going to come to the floor. We're rotating those hip points down to the floor. So both hip points are facing the floor to the front of the mat. We're going to take our left hand to our hip. Your right fingertips can be on the floor or on a block. Take an inhale here. Exhale, we're rotating open to the left. Hand can stay right where it is, or you can extend those fingertips to the ceiling. Hips are pressing towards center. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand gently comes down, bending through that left leg. Set those right toes down back behind you, readjust and find a lunge. Take an inhale here. Exhale, step back to down dog. Take a moment in down dog. Find your breath. Slow everything down. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, right foot's going to come forward up in between your hands. Left heel peels down. Inhale, come on up into warrior two. Taking a moment here. We're going to move into that half moon again. Transitions on one side of the body tend to be easier on the other. My right side never cooperates quite as well as my left. So take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to shift forward. Right hand comes to the floor or the block. Left hand comes to your hip. Hips rotate open to the left. Hand can stay right where it is, or you can extend those fingers to the ceiling. Gaze can stay down at the floor, or you can look straight ahead, or you can even look up at those fingertips. A couple of breaths. exhale, nice and gently. Left fingertips come to the floor as your hip points rotate to the front of the mat. Right hand comes up onto your hip. Inhale here. Exhale, twisting open to the right. Revolved half moon. Keep that extended leg as nice and high, but only parallel with your hips. Don't try and raise it higher than your hips. Hip points are both squeezing towards center. Right hand can stay where it is, or you can extend those fingertips to the ceiling. Couple of breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down, bending through that right leg as you gently set back into a low lunge. Readjust. Inhale here. Exhale, step back to down dog. Take a moment in down dog. On an inhale, we're going to look to the front of the mat. Exhale, knees are going to come down onto the mat, finding a seat with our feet out in front of us. Feet on the floor, knees pointing towards the ceiling. Now you know we're revisiting that boat pose, right? You can do boat exactly as we did it at the beginning of practice. Just bring your heels off the floor. Toes on the floor, maybe walking your feet back just a little bit. Focusing on bringing your torso towards your thighs. Nice long spine, shoulders drawing down and back. Hands can extend or they can stay on the floor. If you want to come into full boat, we're going to bring our feet up off the floor. Feet flex. We're going to keep our knees bent today. Torso is still pulling towards those thighs. Arms are going to extend, but shoulders are drawing back towards the center of our back as our fingers reach towards our feet. Couple of breaths. Knees are squeezing towards center. Embrace the shake. One more inhale. Exhale and release, cross-legged position. Let your eyes come closed. All right. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Sitting up nice and tall on the front edge of your sit bones. Hands on your ankles or hands on your toes. If you're going to hold on to your toes, just be sure you're not pulling up on them, putting any unwanted flexion in your ankle joints. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. Nice long spine as you come forward. If you've got the room, your forearms can come to the outside of your shins. And when you reach that point where you're folded as far forward as you want to be today, let your shoulders soften, let your head hang. Inhale, very gently coming up. One hand under each knee as you fold your knees together like a book. Step your feet out just a little bit. Hands back behind you. Let your knees windshield wiper side to side. All right, we're going to take our right foot and we're going to tuck it under towards our left sit bone. We're not shifting up and putting the foot underneath our sit bone. We're keeping both sit bones connected with the mat. So the foot's just going to come and tuck back by the sit bone. Then we're going to take our left foot on top, bringing your knees as close to stacking as is comfortable for you. Be aware of your knee joints and don't put any weird or icky pressure in your knee joints. Sitting up nice and tall. Okay, we're going to take our right hand, back of our right hand against the palm of our right hand against the back of our right shoulder. Left hand, back of the left hand is going to come up your back. If you are able to take the bind, go ahead and do that. Don't force anything. You can always just let the palm of your right hand and the back of your left hand set gently against your back. You can grab onto your shirt back. Whatever feels best for you. Take a couple of breaths here. You can stay upright or you can gently fold your torso forward. I actually in this position prefer to stay upright. It feels a little bit more stable in the hips for me, but if you're used to folding forward in Gomukhasana, you certainly can. One more inhale. Exhale, gently release. Untangle your legs, feet on the floor. Hands back behind you. Let your knees windshield wiper side to side. Okay, we're going to move into second side. So left foot is going to come and tuck up close to the sit bone on your right side, but not underneath of it, okay? Right foot's going to come over and on top. Knees are going to come as close to stacking as feels comfortable for you. You want to keep both sit bones connected with the mat, okay? Sitting up nice and tall. Palm of the left hand goes against the back of the left shoulder. Back of the right hand walks up your back. If you can reach those fingers to take the bind, go ahead and do that. I can touch my fingertips today, but I can't bind on this side. A lot of times I can't bind with my right hand coming up, and that's okay. Couple of breaths here. Again, you can lean forward if that's in your practice with Gomukhasana. I generally prefer to stay upright. One more inhale. Exhale, gently release. Untangle your legs. Feet on the floor, knees pointing towards the ceiling. Lean back on your hands. Let your knees windshield wiper side to side. We're going to go ahead and we're going to come down onto our backs. Feet on the floor, knees pointing towards the ceiling. And we're going to move through what I like to call rolling bridge. We're going to start with our hands down by our hips. And on an inhale, we're bringing our hips up off the mat. Nice and slow. We're pressing up with our glutes. We're engaging them. We're working. Hitting the top of our bridge as we hit the top of our breath. Exhale, nice and slow, coming down. Continue to move through these with your own breath at your own pace. Now you can keep doing these exactly as you are, or you can add the arms into it. On your inhale, as you're pressing your pelvis up, you're also going to draw your hands up and back behind you. Back of the hand can hit the floor here. Exhale, hands are going to come up and back down by your hips as your hips come down towards the floor. Inhale, coming up. Exhale and release. Own breath, own pace here. Take one more. Very gently resting your hands on your abdomen as your knees point towards the ceiling. Take a breath or two here. Gently draw your right knee in towards your torso. Interlace your fingers around the outside of your right shin. That right foot can be flexed. Left foot can stay on the floor, or the left foot can lay out long. Couple of breaths here. Just gently squeezing that knee in towards your body. Exhale, release both feet to the floor. Inhale, draw your left knee towards your torso, fingers interlaced around the outside of your shin. Right foot can stay on the floor or right foot can lay out long. Couple of breaths. Exhale and release both feet to the floor. Inhale, both knees in towards your chest. Wrap your hands around your shins. If it feels nice, bring your shoulders and your neck up, your head up off the mat. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Exhale, release out long into Savasana. Walk your shoulders underneath your torso. Lay your legs out long. Take a second to find a comfortable position. Get all the wiggles out. We're right up against that 45 minutes. We might be even a little bit over a minute, maybe. So I invite you to stay in